Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to film something really exciting. We are going to pick my June reads of the month. I did this last month for the first time, a video where I have my prompt jar and I let my prompt jar pick the books that I'm going to read by picking prompts in the prompt jar, if that makes sense. And I did that for the first time in May and I really like doing it, so I figured let's repeat that. Basically what we are going to do is I have my prompt jar here, and in this jar are prompts basically, and those prompts tell me what kind of book to pick, and I pick a book based on it, and with those books, well, basically they form my TBR for the month of June. Last month we chose 6 books, but I didn't read 2 of them, and these are the 2 that I didn't read. I did end up reading 9 or 10 books in May, but just not all of my TBR. That's because I was focused on filming some other YouTube videos where I finish series and my 24-hour challenge. I also just needed some other books. Yeah, I just craved some other books. So we ended up reading 4 of the 6 books on my TBR card. The ones that I didn't read are really good actually, by Monica Hasey, and this one just hasn't spoken to me yet. I think it's gonna take me a while to read that. And then I also didn't read The Breakup Artist, which I'm actually really excited about. For months I've been excited about reading this book, but for some reason it just doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't know why. So these are the 2 books that I ended up not reading in May. But let's pick some new books for June. And first let's go into the books that are new on my TBR shelf. For any of you that are new here, these 6 shelves are my TBR shelf. So those are all the books that I still need to read. Not all of them. There are a few books in the Shatter Me series that are up there on the upper shelf. But I think that's everything. Yeah. That's everything. I did get some new books in May, and those are all on this shelf. I had a little shopping trip, so some new books on my TBR shelf are Phantasma, really excited about that one. Nightbane by Alex Astor. I really liked Lightlark. I know some people don't, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm very curious to continue the series and to see what else is going to happen. And then I also got The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. Also really excited to continue that series. And then the next book in the King of Sin series by Ana Huang, which is King of Envy. This is the 5th book. So those are all new books on my TBR shelf for this month. So I want to create a 6-book TBR for the month of June, but I'm already going to fill one spot because yesterday, as I filmed this, I received a new release that I pre-ordered, and I'm really excited to read this one. So I think for sure, probably most likely, I am going to read this book in June, and it's A Fate, Fortune and Fire by Hazel McBride, which is a debut book. This is her first published book, and how gorgeous does this look? I don't know that much about the book, but I do know that it involves dragons. It's an enemies to lovers fantasy, romantasy, and I think it's a slow burn, but I don't know if that's actually the case or if I imagined that, but I do know that the male main character is very protective of the female main character. And yeah, I feel like everything I've heard about this book tells me that there's gonna be a really good romance, and there's dragons, so what's not to love? I've been following Hazel on TikTok for the last 6 months, I would say, and I just really liked following her journey of publishing her first book, so I was just really excited to pre-order this and support her in that way. And I'm really excited to read this and actually form an opinion about this book. But yeah, this one is going on my June TBR. And then I have 5 more slots to fill that I want to fill with my TBR prompt jar. So let's get started. Let's pick 5 prompts, and then based on those prompts, let's pick some books from these shelves for my June TBR. We are gonna get started. I really enjoyed this last month, just picking books. We are gonna go with this one. A book with a black cover. Oh, I have plenty of those. They're all down here. You can see the actual titles. But let's find some that I really want to read. Oh, I think I lied. I think I also got this last month, but I just got The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake because I have, where is it? The Atlas Paradox for over a year now. I had the second book in the series, but not the first book, and I finally got this on Vinted. So that's a great option. But I'm also really excited about Kingdom of the Cursed. This is the second book in the series, right? Because I did read the first one, but not the second book. And I also have this on my e-reader. So that could also be a great option. We could also obviously pick Nightbane. That's black as well. And Floppy. And there are some others. Crooked Kingdom, Serpent and Dove, Twin Crowns, The Fraud Squad, and I also have Cross, but I feel like that's more purple. I am going to choose between these three books, and I think I'm gonna go for Nightbane. I'm just really excited to continue this series, and I think I'm going to save Kingdom of the Cursed for my vacation at the end of July, not June, July, because I have it on my e-reader, so it's more convenient to read it on my e-reader during my vacation. So let's go with Nightbane for this month. All right, let's pick another prompt. This one. Sports romance. We gotta pick a sports romance. Immediately my mind goes through to the Charlie Method because this is a sports romance series. Yeah, and they're both on the hockey team. What else do I have? I also have The Striker by Ana Huang. I also have Breakaway by Grace Riley. Only read the first book in this series, but I already have the second, the third, and the fourth, so it's time to continue this series. I think it's one of those three books. I don't think I have any other sports romances right now that I still need to read. Because lately I've mostly been buying fantasy books and not as much romance. So I don't have a lot of options, but they're great options. They're great picks. I'm really excited to start this series. But I'm also really excited to continue this series. And yeah, let's go with the Charlie Method. I know it's new. I bought this recently, but I'm just really excited about reading it, and I really want to finish some series. I don't even know if there's gonna be other books in this series, but I just wanted to finish them as they are now. And that's the case with the Charlie Method. So let's go with the Charlie Method. Let's go for the third one. Here we go. Ooh, I already see it. This is a romance free pick. We just did pick a romance, but let's find another one because we also have two fantasy books already. So we need to balance that with some romance. I really want to read King of Envy by Ana Huang, but I already picked two of the new books that I got last month. And I also want to read books that I got earlier. So let's look further. These are all romance. Ooh, First Time Caller is definitely a good option. Ah, no. The Slowest Burn by Sarah Chamberlain looks really, really cute. Not in My Book is a good option. I could also do the Rom-Commers, which has been on my TBR for a long time. I got this at Edinburgh in March. That's a good option. The Enemy by Sarah Adams. Adams? Yeah. I really, really liked the first one in the series, The Match, which was about matching people to their guide dog or service dog. Yeah, and I adored this one. I adored that one. But my friend who also enjoyed the first one said she didn't necessarily like The Enemy, but I have to see for myself. So that's definitely a great option as well. Let's read The Enemy. Yeah, let's read that one. My three picks so far. We are going to pick two more books, so let's continue this. What does it say? Title starts with Random Letter. Okay, we did that one last month and then we got an R. I think that's what happened. Yeah, and then I picked really good actually. Okay, let's get my phone out and find a random letter generator. I just threw that one back into the jar last month because you can always get a different letter and then it's a completely different prompt. Here we go. Spin. Love the sounds of that. What's it gonna be? W. I don't know if I have any books with a W, but let's see. Oh, I do. With the Fire on high. Ooh. Wicked Surf, but that's the 4th book in the same series that I just talked to you about, where I haven't read the 3rd and the 2nd book, so this is not really an option because I still need to read the 2nd and the 3rd book in the series, so we're gonna put this back. Nope, I feel like that's it, so this is my only option. I do have some books that start with A, Witch, for example, but I feel like I really want the very first letter to be a W, so we're gonna go with this one. It's a romance that I don't know much about, but I got this at the book swap and it looked really cute. And the first sentence on the back is, Emily wants to be a chef more than anything, but having a 2-year-old daughter and being 17 and still at school isn't exactly making life easy. And I really love the wanting to be a chef part. So I'm really curious about this book and it looks stunning. So yeah, let's pick this one. Not that I have a choice, but let's pick this one. Okay, we're gonna go for one more book because then I have a TBR of 6 books. Let's go with this one. I feel like I picked a lot of pink papers, but person on the cover. Okay, well, we just picked one. Okay, I picked a lot of books with persons on the cover. Look. But can it be animated like this one, or does it have to be, well, this is also animated, but just more detailed? I feel like that counts, right? Let's see what I have. First Time Color is a great option. Does this count? I feel like it does. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah. 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 Yes. Oh my god. Yes. These are too many options. Okay, let me only grab the ones that speak to me the most. Okay, lots of options, to be honest. Maybe even too many options. This wasn't a hard prompt. I picked some books that speak to me the most, but there's still a lot of options, you guys. Okay, let's go through these 7 options. Breakaway, the one we already talked about. Out of the Woods, also already talked about that one. Spark of the Everflame, which I'm very excited about. First Time Color. The Rom-Commers. Not in My Book. And The Slowest Burn. So actually almost all of these are romance books except for Spark of the Everflame, which is a romantasy. You know what, on my June TBR I have 2 fantasies right now and 3 romances. Maybe just even that out. I mean, does this count? I think it does, right? I mean, person on the cover, well, it's definitely someone. Okay, yeah, let's even it out. Let's go for 3 romantasies or fantasy books and then 3 romances. So I'm gonna go for Spark of the Everflame. Yeah, let's go for that one. Alright, so let's go through the 6 books that I have on my June TBR. First of all, A Fate Forged in Fire, which was my wild card, my free pick. A new release, I think it was released May 27th, so very, very recent. Very excited about that. Then Nightbane by Alex Esther, the 2nd book in the Lightlark series. I am really curious to see how it's going to continue. So basically, Isla, which is the female main character, she, well, took part in a contest, some sort of contest, where 6 leaders of each area, land, nation, whatever, had to battle on an island, the island of Ligelark. That makes sense. Which is only accessible every 100 years, and one of the leaders had to die in order to break a curse. And I'm not going to give any spoilers about the first book, but I'm really curious to see how it's going to continue, which is going to be her love interest in the end. And yeah, basically that. Then The Charlie Minute by Elle Kennedy, which is the third book in the Campus Diary series. And this book, we've already met these characters in the earlier two books. And I believe this book is about one FMC and two male main characters. So I'm very curious to see how that is going to evolve. Yeah, how the relationship will go. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Love the cover though. Absolutely adore it. And then The Enemy by Sarah Adams. I don't even know what it is about, by the way. It's been 12 years since June Broughton had seen her high school nemesis / crush after he brutally humiliated her with an almost kiss at graduation. But now Ryan Henderson is back in town for their best friend's wedding and June is itching to get even. I feel like June is a character we got to know in The Match, the first book in the series. I think she was the sister of the male main character in The Enemy. And I really liked his family dynamic, his sisters, so I'm very curious to see if I like the characters in this one as well. Probably. I love her writing style, so very excited for this one. With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, if I say that correctly, please correct me if I don't. Which was about the teenage mom, the 17-year-old mom with a 2-year-old daughter who wants to be a chef more than anything. The one place she can let everything go is in the kitchen, where she has magical hands. Okay, yeah, very curious. And then Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, which I also don't know a lot about. One of my friends really wanted to read this one and we both got it then, and she really liked it, so I'm very curious. It says, all her life, healer Dean Bellator has yearned to escape her tiny village in Emarion, a realm ruled over by cruel demigods known as the Descendants. Oh my god, Descendants. That sounds like From Blood and Ash. I'm currently rereading From Blood and Ash. Immediately thinking about that one. Although her parents have always tried to shield her from their brutality, Deem's world changes forever when her mother goes missing, leading her to uncover a dangerous secret that links her family to the dreaded Descendant in ways she never imagined. Alright, okay, sounds exciting. Ooh, and I love the chapter art. That's gorgeous. Okay, we're gonna see. That's it. We picked 6 books for me to read in June. Very excited to start reading in June. I might do another reading challenge, maybe a 24-hour one or a 12-hour challenge, but that isn't going to happen until later in June, if it happens. So I must be able to read another 6 to 10 books next month, I think, in June, which is now when you see this, but when I film it, it's next month. So I must be able to finish all of these, but we're gonna see. I might end up picking some other books. I might be in the mood for some other books. I'm a huge mood reader. So yeah, if I end up picking other books, that's just what happens. I'm not going to fully control myself on what I read. Reading is a hobby, so if I end up reading different books, that's also okay. Anyway, if you like this video, can you please do me the huge favor of giving this video a thumbs up, leaving a comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel so you're up to date for all my other bookish content that will come very soon. And yeah, I really like doing this. I hope you liked watching it. I hope to see you very soon in the next video. Bye guys. Doei!